I just recently turned 26 about a week ago, and it made me make a list of basically the things that you should probably know by the time you're 26. And if you can learn these things sooner, the better. And starting with number 5, consistency is the key to success. It's really just getting up daily and putting in those routines and habits in place so you can push your life forward, so you can feel the progress. It's really the discipline of getting up and getting it done every single day. And like I said in a past video, I understand that those days might feel like you're gonna forget because it's just so much things that you've repeatedly done before that your brain just doesn't need to keep all of it in a way, unless you have like a photographic memory, which is, there's some people out there that have that, but most people forget a lot of shit, forget a lot of days. The reality of the situation is that you can only control right now and today. So if you're consistent with the things that you need to get done today, sacrifice today for a better tomorrow, you should be fine. That's pretty obvious if you speak to most people that are successful in whatever type of field or whatever you define as successful. You'll realize that most people have a routine and do things consistently that push them towards these goals that they have. And the reality of the situation is just getting more reps, right? Makes sense. If you do it more times, your brain will start recognizing patterns and you'll learn faster. So how fast you can get that done is really, I don't know if it's your intelligence, but it definitely has a lot to do with how fast you can learn things, right? How you learn things faster is by consistently doing these things. Speak to anybody you want to. Everybody will say this. This is probably the key to success. It's just sticking with it and getting up every single day. It's a daily battle. And just stacking W's every day as much as you can. Because there's going to be some days that you're not going to want to do it, or you're not going to have the motivation or whatever the fuck. You're just not feeling it, but you have to push through and actually get it done. Because you want a better tomorrow. It's such a weird dichotomy. Like, I'm sacrificing today, the moment, right now, for potentially something down the line. It's a weird concept because what we're all in search of, technically all humans, is just happiness, right? So it's a weird concept to trade your happiness now for potentially a better day down the line. It's a weird thing, but most people that are successful in life have that down to a T, and I promise you they've had better days because of it. So at the end of the day, your life is really only a couple weeks, a couple months in space and time. So make the most of it while you're still here and do those things that consistently push you towards these goals that you might have. And you know what those things are. So just lock in and really get that done. Thing number 4 that I wrote down is realizing that nobody's perfect, that everybody has their flaws, and it's a hard pill to swallow with like realizing your parents are human beings and they also mess up and they don't know what the fuck is going on either, because for me personally, like, I saw my dad as like just in that hero arc. Maybe a couple years ago I realized like, this man is just human. Just like everybody else. And I still love my dad, I still love my parents to death, but sometimes like I would take their advice or their opinions, which I still value, but I would let it influence me in whatever I was doing in my life. So to a certain degree, like, it's okay to take that in, but you should always be leery because it's their first time in this, whatever the fuck this is, whatever we call life. It's their first time too. So yes, they might have been here, or they have been here longer than you, but the reality situation is that they're learning every day, just like you, and it's a battle for them daily, just like it's a daily battle for you. And realizing that, taking people off a pedestal, I used to always think like, oh, what if I'm not smart enough to sit at the table or whatever? And then you sit at the table and it's just like, oh, these motherfuckers don't know what the hell's going on either. Like, we're just all in this, living this human experience together and learning day by day and trying to recognize as much patterns as we can, because that's what humans do. But yeah, take all those people that you have in this pedestal that you think are better than you, or oh, they have more knowledge than me, or whatever the case may be. They're human beings, like, just like you and me, and they got to where they got to doing something specifically. Like, there's a road. Success leaves like a trail. So if you pay attention to these people, like, you'll see and learn what they did to get to the point they did. And still, we don't really know if that was the correct path, because they were trying to figure it out as well, and they did it, but maybe it's a little different for you. And so you have to forge your own path and really just trust that you're making the right decisions throughout life. The third thing that I wrote down was physical fitness and nutrition and health. That's really important, right? Especially like right now for me, like, I'm in the prime of my life technically, and I do feel it. Like, I am excited being here. My physical journey I started 2 years ago, that I like consistently started going to the gym, and I know it's helps me now today, but in reality I'm doing it for 60-year-old Camilo, because I know that if I build this habit now and I start today, or back then when I was 24, I guess I started the habit of consistently going 4, 5, 6 times out of the week to the gym, or at least doing some type of physical activity. It's very important that you start as soon as you can, because you'll never have enough time as you do now, because you don't have kids, you don't have any crazy responsibilities as of now, and you have the time, obviously, like I said, the energy, the willpower to get these things done. And it's gonna get harder from now on to burn or to build muscle as you age, obviously. So if you get it done sooner, you start sooner, the better. So you should know that by the time you're 26. Number 2, money isn't everything, and it won't fix your problems. And if you don't realize that, by the time you're 26, you're probably going to live a very miserable life trying to chase something that's really not. Like, it is important, I get it. We all want to get money. We all want to get rich. And it does mask a lot of the, a lot of the problems. But how many rich and successful people have killed themselves? I don't know, that's hard to say, but it's the truth. Stress doesn't go away, anxiety doesn't go away, it just amplifies. Like a person that is stressed about, where am I gonna get my next paycheck, or where am I gonna get my next meal from, is just as stressed as the businessman with 10 businesses, and he has 2 or 3 of them close to failure, and he needs to figure that out. Like, the mental state is gonna be basically around the same, maybe even more stressful for the businessman, especially because there's these other things that go into it, like, oh, I have to keep up this image, this thing, everybody is looking at me, which is false. Nobody gives a fuck in reality. But it is hard to think that because you've been successful, you have to keep it up, right? So it does cause a lot of stress and anxiety. But I'd rather have that and have the money than having to be fucking the same, being worried about other shit, but still having stress and anxiety, but I'm broke, right? So choose wisely. You can either be stressed and going through it with money, or stress and going through it without money. Pick a lane, and I promise you'll realize money isn't the whole thing. It's really just like a measuring stick that you should be using, not to compare yourself to other people, because it doesn't mean you're more successful, but in a way it does show you like how valuable you are to a marketplace specifically, because obviously everybody brings value in their own way, and everybody has a unique value to them. Everybody's unique. There's nobody in this earth that's like you, or there's never been another person like you before. So yeah, just really take that into consideration when you're making these goals and chasing these dreams. And like right now for me, I am 26. Like my major goal this year is financial, but I understand that that's not the end all be all. And really the only thing that I should be worried about is the type of person that I need to become in order for these financial goals to arrive, right? What are these disciplines that I have to keep doing? What is the path that I have to take in order to get there? And that's more important to me than like the actual tangible money that I'll be able to, touch and use. And I get it. Like it does mask a lot of the problems. I get it. I understand. But it's not the end all be all. And shit's still going to be rough sometimes. I promise you. Like it's not. It really is just like a measuring stick, like I said, for this game that we're all trying to play, and we all really want this money. We're not the only. You're not the only person that wants to be rich, obviously. But like I said, don't focus on the money that you're making. Focus on the person that you have to become in order to obtain that. The number one thing that you should know by the time you're 26 is you're only racing yourself. That's it. It's only you racing that little ghost on that track every single day. And if you did better yesterday, you have to do better than that little ghost today. And I know it's unrealistic to be him every day, but it's a goal that you should have, that you should be able to try to beat every single day. It's you versus you. That's it. There's nobody else stopping you. You control a lot of the things in this world. Obviously, there's a lot of shit that's outside of your control. I get it. The universe has its way of working, but it also has a lot of things that you can do. And like I've said before, just focus on input. If I can focus on the input, if I can focus on what I'm doing, if I can focus on the little things that are pushing me forward, I will win. There's no doubt in my mind. And stop comparing yourself to other people. Your journey is different than them. Like I said before in this video, you're unique as fuck. There's nobody like you. There's never been anybody like you. And you're the only person that really knows if you're giving your 100% effort or not. So really take advantage of whatever life gives you, because obviously each journey starts different. Each person gets a different set of deck of cards and whatever you want to call it, and you just have to play the hand and let the cards fall as they may, and that's it. That's it. Because obviously, comparing myself to somebody like Alex Hormozi right now, who is 37, I believe, and has been recording since recording videos since 2017. He's been in business since he was 21 or 22, I believe. it's just idiotic. There's no way to compare myself today than him right now, right? Or maybe I can try to compare myself to what he was at my age, but even then, it still does me no good. you know? Oh, I did it. I'm doing better than him at whatever age I am now. Like, who gives a fuck? You still have to get up tomorrow and do it again. And then the next day. 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 That's truly how fucking life feels. It's just fucking moment after moment after moment, and it's just fucking gone like that. So the only thing we control is today. That's it. Focus on these key things that I said, and I promise you, your life will get better. You will get better. And everything will move you towards those things that you want. I promise. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.